Hello, and welcome to another episode of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. It is Friday. Happy Friday. My name is Nikki Darling, and we are in a very busy place. We're down at Pybus Public Market, right in front of the kitchen. I kind of find this to be a pretty cool background, but I purposely put the fun artisan and market background for our guests today. We have quite a few guests that are going to be joining me. Not only is Grayson here with me to take me through the next couple of hours, but we also have Oscar from the NCW Equity Alliance to talk about what programs they have coming up. They have quite a few different series of equity and DEI going on. That's diversity, equity, and inclusion, those kinds of programs. And we'll talk to him about that. That's a big topic that we love to get involved in around here. And Joel from the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo, it will be here to tell us about that coming up in a couple of weeks in May. And I'm going to bend his ear a little bit because I am a vinyl aficionado. Not really, but I'm a vinyl freak. That's a much better word, a vinyl freak. And we also are going to, of course, Apple Blossom. Anybody that's in town, you've seen that the food fair has started to get up and running. And the chairs on Orondo and all the way up there are starting to be lined up. They did the Chief for a Day, which is the kickoff, the official kickoff for Apple Blossom yesterday. So we are involved in Apple Blossom as much as possible. We're going to try and get in touch with Alex Haley. He is the one who is the manager over at the Apple Blossom Beer Garden. And we're going to try and connect with him remotely, a la Joe from Blue Sky's food truck, like we did back on St. Patty's Day. So he's out there on site at the beer gardens. We're going to try and connect with him a little bit later on in the show. And Trina Elms, who's the public information officer for the city of East Wenatchee, she is in charge of Classy Chassis this year. So she'll be here to tell us what's going on the east side for Apple Blossom. Woo, it's a big show. Got lots going on. You can come down and watch. We've got like front row seating, literally right to our left at Off the Hill Winery at Pybus. So they are open. If you want to come down, do a little lunchtime tasting. And there's a bar right here. It still has my sunglasses on it. You can come and hang out, or you can interact with us always in real time. Just like Chris did. He says, "Hello, Nikki. How are you? Hope you're feeling better." I am feeling so much better. Thank you so much. My surgery is now like 3 weeks behind me. So, Chris, really appreciate you chiming in. You could do it just like that. And look, we'll put your comment up on the screen. And you can do that throughout the show with our guests. You can interact with them, or you can always text in through our interactive text line, 509-795-5602. Let's say hello again to my friend Grayson. Grayson, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm good. How are you?
What? Why are you laughing? Get closer.
Why am I laughing? Oh,
yeah.
Because, I've got the background audio a little bit off when I'm in my headset in the background here.
Oh, we'll take them off then. Take it off.
All right.
I can't do that. This is a family-friendly place.
Yes. So I am super excited about today's show. I actually got to drive down Orondo, and it was hopping.
Yeah.
It was hopping
already.
Over there. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I've got to get in line for my pierogi.
Oh, and the Donner House. The Donner House is my favorite. And, of course, the funnel cakes.
I know.
Funnel cakes remind me of going down to the Jersey Shore onto the boardwalk. So it really reminds me a lot of home.
And mine reminds me of the Puyallup Fair here in Washington State. Like, you can't not go to the fair, Washington State Fair, and not have a funnel cake.
I've never been to the Washington
You're
State
gonna have
Fair.
to have Ryan take you. I think that you would have fun. I know Trenton would like.
It's a drive, isn't it?
It's not that.
How far is Puyallup?
It's about 3 hours.
It's yeah, you who drives back and forth all over the place to Spokane in the middle of the night. I don't know. So
I like to drive. You have to like to drive.
I'd like to drive, but it's totally different when you have a 2-year-old in the car, right?
That's true.
Who is screaming for Elmo.
See, what you need is you need to get a tablet that back straps to the back of your seat where he's sitting.
Oh, I need a strap. That's what so he can't be like playing with it.
But you can play it and control it, so you always know.
Oh, and I can control it.
Yeah, you can do that.
There's things like that.
There are.
I'm so behind the times when it comes to that. You would think I'm like ahead of the times. Here we are podcasting a live stream show in the middle of our public market, but I can't play Elmo for my kid in the back seat of my car.
You just haven't gotten that far. We'll get you there, you know.
I swear.
Getting better all the time.
We're getting better all the time. Yes, that is absolutely true. We are getting better all the time. We're really happy to be down here at Pybus because we are like 2 weeks away from opening day for the farmers market.
Right?
Isn't that I love farmers market season.
Me too.
Not only like I love the artisans and they get to show their wares out here during the year too because they're inside. But the open air market outside is just something special that not every community has.
Right.
So we're really grateful to have it. And it usually doesn't. Not every community can support it.
Right.
We actually have a very thriving agricultural community that we actually need a market. Because or else they would be wasting their food. And it's just there's not only the food or the produce, but there's like they usually have like resource tables and entertainment and other things like that. So I think it's a really special deal.
I really like the market just because there's lots to see. B, there's lots to try and eat. And that's like kind of my favorite part. And then I walk away with produce. So
yeah. Really nice fresh produce that you know exactly where it came from.
Oh yeah, I don't have to go to the local grocery store. I literally like spend a lot of money just buying produce because it's fresh. Right. And I know it's gonna last in my fridge for longer than a couple of days.
True. We've done a lot of planting at our house. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 garden beds.
You got them all up yet?
We have them all up.
Oh my goodness. I've seen them. I know that they're huge.
And we were talking just this morning because we wanted one more. We wanted one more garden bed because Ryan's like, what do you think about a pumpkin patch?
Oh, that would be
like
so
a little mini
cool.
pumpkin patch, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's grow a big old pumpkin. He wants to grow a big old pumpkin that Trenton could actually fit into. And I'm like,
so cool.
You realize that Trenton is now 2. He's like, we could have done that when he was a baby and like did the arms and like stick them out the sides.
It's the fact that Ryan gets so excited about these things.
Yeah.
Like the chicken coop, the chickens, introducing them to Trenton, and then the garden beds, getting out there and working in the soil together. It's really cool.
Right. It is because my kid, my kid is having such a different experience growing up than I ever had. I grew up in New Jersey. Like, not that we couldn't garden, but it's just not the experience that I had. And I look at my kid and he loves his shovel. We got him a kid-sized shovel. It's actually more of like more for a 5-year-old, but he has these huge man hands. Like my kid has huge hands. So he has like a 5-year-old big hefty shovel and a rake, his own garden gloves, his own hat that he wears outside in the garden, and he's right there in the dirt with us. So my concern about the pumpkin patch was that we were going to do it right on the ground with no garden bed around it, no wood or frame. And I said, well, I know what Trenton's going to do. He's going to go with his shovel and his rake and be like, this is where I want to dig, even after we put the seeds in the ground. So that's probably not the best idea, at least with the garden beds. There's a structure around it, and you can go, no, Trenton, like that's where the plants are growing in the ground. And if there's just an open pit of dirt, he's going to be like, this is where I want to play.
Right? I can totally see him doing that too.
Yeah.
It's open space. This is my yard.
This is my dirt pile, right? For his imagination, he should do that. He's a kid. He should have a big dirt pile that he can play in.
Absolutely.
So we're looking for one more garden bed, or Ryan's going to build it. He said he might build it today. And I'm like, okay. Of course, I'm going to come home. He's going to probably have 17 garden beds built because that's my husband. I'm like, I forget sometimes how freaking handy he is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, let's get a garden bed. And I immediately go online. I'm like, what's on Marketplace? How expensive is it to buy at Coastal or Lowe's or wherever? And he's like, I'm just going to build it. I'm like, oh, man.
But he has all these ideas for gardening. That's the thing. He has all these things that he wants to plant. And he's super excited about it, which, hey,
he's very,
how awesome
this is his
that?
passion.
Yeah. And so Trenton's actually learning about stuff and cultivating food, it's pretty cool to be a little kid and have that. I mean, I had that when I was little with my grandparents. I think that's like super awesome because it's something I've carried into my own home now.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I'm like preparing for all the things I'm going to be planting. I'm all excited. I'm like, ooh, it's getting warm outside.
Do you have beds?
No, I do not have beds.
Okay.
Because I decided that
then Trenton can't come over to your house. Trenton can't come and play.
Well, I've got the soil and everything, as you've seen in my driveway. I just have to actually build the beds. I just have to get some guys together and build the raised beds. Because
I know a guy.
Like being handy.
I know a guy.
Yeah, but your guy's kind of busy right now, so.
Not as busy as me. We are really busy.
Yeah, I've already got everything set aside to go out and get the materials, and then it's literally just the day like sawing and building, and I'm only putting in 4. Then they're not as cool as yours because I've seen your setup. Your setup is pretty professional looking.
Oh no, it really isn't.
Yes, it is. If you could pop up a picture right now to these guys, what it looks like, I'm like, man, look at this. It's like galvanized steel, like beds all set up like perfectly spaced apart.
It's not like Ryan went and galvanized the steel himself.
He might as well.
Or I don't know what you would do, solder the wing nuts. He's not like that. But he bought these galvanized steel beds and has put them together. I could have figured out how to put them together. I'm sure. At least that handy.
I was really shocked to how much dirt you had because I was like, yeah, I've got about that many
cubic
yards. Let's not
talk about the dirt, okay? The dirt. The dirt is in our driveway.
Same.
No, but do you have 7 feet high mound of dirt in your driveway? Because that's what I have.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea how big it was initially until I had to like fill in after the retaining wall went in last spring. There was so much dirt there. I thought I was never going to be able to access my driveway into the garage ever again. And
the best part about this, I know that to be true what you just said, the best part about the dirt in our driveway was that week that I was on the struggle bus, right? And I was broadcasting from home. Ryan goes, this is the only day they can get the soil. They can deliver the dirt. And it's between 12 and 2. I'm like, they're going to be delivering this mound of dirt with the beep, beep, beep outside of our house, right in the window where I'm going to be broadcasting live inside of the house. Thank you, husband. That was very awesome of you.
I think he just truly forgets, honestly,
what I
when
do.
You're on air.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same time on the same day of the week.
And then we only have so many parking spots in our driveway.
Oh
and we have like 7 cars of his that he has rebuilding or getting or putting back together or fixing. And so there's 4 parking spaces One's being taken up by 7 feet high mound of dirt. So what does he do?
The most exciting thing that he had to tell me about, even though I saw it when I had already came to the house.
Yeah. He took his 1982 Gen 1 Ford, a Toyota truck. He would kill me if he knew that I said Ford. Toyota truck, put it in low, and drove that thing and parked it on top of the dirt.
Yeah, and he's so proud of it.
So proud of it, but it scared the crap out of my kid.
I believe it.
He was with a truck. Like, why is the truck on top of the dirt? Ugh.
Yeah, I thought it was clever when he came out and looked at my new ride and was like, "Hey, you want me to park that on the dirt pile? That'd be fun. Let's do that." And I'm like,
your new car. Like, that is not what your car was meant for at all.
I was like, it's not an off-road vehicle. It's not like any of yours.
Uh-huh. You think having a 2-year-old is why we can't have nice things? No, this is why we can't have nice things. I love him so much. All right, we got to keep moving with the show today. I'm gonna thank you for being here. I'm
Absolutely.
so glad. I'm so happy to have you here. Go get Oscar ready because he's our first guest for today. Oscar from the NCW Equity Alliance. Before I get him on, I just want to let you know that we are a fully community supported podcast, which means that people like you who are enjoying our show help support this and put this on, all this equipment, all of these guests that we get on, all of the time that it takes to prepare as we can upgrade our cameras, upgrade our sound equipment. We've been able to do that. That's we're getting better all the time. Completely community supported and small business supported as well. So you can go to this website. It's www.supercast.com, and you can become part of our membership, and that will help support all these podcasts in the future. We are also partially supported by Susie Health Solutions and Wenatchee Insurance. Insurance shopping sucks. If you go online, you're going to expect to have your phone and your emails just blow up because they're going to start sending you stuff immediately. And, you know, who really knows what catastrophic versus full coverage even means? About 11 years ago, Susie and Matt at Susie Health and Susie Health Solutions were helping people free of charge with the Apple Health Plan Finder account and health insurance, but they saw some gaps like in Medicare and dental and vision, so they contracted with companies and started helping people with those gaps in insurance. They continue to do that. They're really down to earth people. They're really approachable and friendly, and when you go in their office, they just kind of look like you and me, and they've got natural park posters up on the wall. And just back in January, they partnered with Shayla, who is now offering things for your home, for your auto, for your business. Yeah, those two. And she found that there were gaps too, and they wanted to help out in those areas. So you can go to one place and you can get your home, your auto, your business, and your health insurance, and it's all at the Wenatchee Insurance and Susie Health Solutions. 413 North Mission Street, or even easier, it's online at enrollmentcenter.org. So in case you just kind of came up upon this, you are watching and listening to the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. We do this live every Friday from noon to 2. Today we are broadcasting from Pybus Public Market. You might not be able to tell by what's behind me, but once I get our guest up, you will definitely be able to tell by what's behind them. My first guest today is Oscar, and I have to ask him how he pronounces his last name because I would just completely massacre it. And that's partially my fault because I'm an uncultured swine. I'm just kidding. I'm really not. But Oscar, I don't want to mess it up. So he's from the NCW Equity Alliance. They have some great DEI programs and all inclusion programs that we're going to talk about. So I really want to find out what is up with the Equity Alliance. And so I'm going to introduce to you Oscar.
Hello.
Hi, Oscar. What is your last name? How do you pronounce your last name?
It's Licon-Eusebio.
Licon-Eusebio.
Yeah, there we go.
Really?
Yes,
Did I get it on the first try?
Yep.
Licon-Eusebio.
Yep.
Got
There
it.
you go.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Honestly, thank you so much for being here with us today. Because I think this is a really important organization that just kind of popped up in the past couple of years.
Yeah, 2 years. Well, 2020, so 3 years now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll kind of give you a little bit brief history, if that's okay.
Yeah, please do.
So as you mentioned, my name is Oscar, and I'm the executive director for the NCW Equity Alliance. So kind of a little bit of a background. This started as a working group back in 2020, and in 2021 they started to formulate this nonprofit. I actually came on board in October of 2022, so I'm very young into this organization myself. But it's great, it's to have a great mission. Our mission is to make sure that everyone in North Central Washington can learn, can live, play, and thrive, right? And so we want to make sure that everyone is being served across the valley. So that's kind of what we do. And we have, like you mentioned, we have different learning opportunities where folks can get involved.
So who has which groups of people are having difficulty with inclusion?
Yeah, so we focus on marginalized groups. So we talk about, in terms of, racial, right? So Latino folks, Black folks, Asian folks, anyone really, our indigenous folk, right? So we want to try to uplift those voices. We also, try to lift up voices of the LGBTQ plus community, right? And so we really focus on the different, whether that's race, ethnicity, right, gender. We work with, classism, right? So we really try to address all these issues. And, we do it through storytelling. So we do it through...
Now you're speaking my language, Oscar, storytelling.
Exactly. It's really important. So I think, listening to lived experiences of folks and how can we then lift up those voices and what are those experiences and those inequities that are happening in each of their lives, right? So there's a lot of, terms that are thrown around like intersectionalities, right? So we wear multiple hats in our daily lives. So what are some of those things?
Right. People might not understand what that term means, the intersectionality, because they were like, what? Are they talking about my sexuality? No,
it's not. It has to do with sexuality at all. Sometimes, you wear, for example, you can wear multiple hats. I'm a male, but I'm also a Latino male, right? So I live two different experiences sometimes.
Right. Like I identify as a female, but I'm also part of the LGBTQ community. Right.
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
that's an intersection of my identity.
Yeah. And, kind of going to go back a little bit too on how we founded this organization. It was founded really after having conversations with different organizations in the Valley. And one thing that we saw was that there was a gap in someone that champions equity. And so, this working group got together and we found, hey, let's champion equity through, education, advocacy, and reconciliation. So how do we educate the community, advocate for folks, and ultimately, how do we come together as a community to, reconciliate? So
that's the hard one, isn't it? People just think we need to go out there and educate. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, this is just my opinion, right? But this is my podcast, so I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion is that there are people who are talking at groups, and that's not educating. They think that's educating because they're just talking at people and they're hoping that the information lands. You have to do it a bit more purposefully than that. Right? Education is very purposeful if you think about it. We purposefully teach our kids A, B, C, D up until school, up until college. Education is a very purposeful thing.
Exactly.
It's not just haphazard. But also, you were talking about the advocacy, education, and reconciliation. I had it the R. It was like the reconciliation. That's the important part, because that they think education is the hard part, but it's really the reconciliation. I think is the hard part. Mediation, reconciliation, finding common ground.
Exactly.
Whew.
We have a lot more in common than we actually believe we do. So I think, as a community, we can come together, and especially if we have these conversations where we give people, again, the opportunity to share their lived experiences, right? It's not about debating, wait, this is right, this is wrong. It's like, hey, tell me about your experience and let's just listen to each other. Let's just be show some empathy. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, right?
Right.
And so, but it's step by step. So I think, there's a big piece of educating folks in terms of just educating each other. I think it's not going to be, oh, I'm going to talk at you. This is what you should no, it's like, hey, no, listen to your neighbor. Like they can teach you something. You can teach,
It's
And
a
so-
dialogue,
it's a
not
dialogue.
a monologue.
There we go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're doing this through different learning and dialogue type series.
Exactly. So
very purposeful, educational, themed series. Is that right?
Exactly. And our big one is Belonging in the Outdoors, right? That's going to be one of those events that we're going to be hosting where we're going to bring people together so they can share their experiences. So, for example, like people of color, what do they experience in the outdoors, right? What do people with disabilities experience in the outdoors? And, our last event's going to be, okay, let's make some action items. Let's get some stakeholders here. Hey, let's all bring it in together. We just talked about here, this is what I experienced. And how do we now take action to make sure that folks, in this particular series, how do they feel like they belong, while they're at Saddle Rock, Castle Rock, any of the trails here?
Yeah.
We have such a beautiful, we live in such a beautiful area where we have so much outdoors and we want everyone to experience it, right? And so some folks just don't feel welcome. And so that's what we're trying to, with this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, with this particular workshop series, film series, we want to have that dialogue on, hey, as a person of color, what do you experience in the outdoors? As a person with a disability, what do you see or what do you hear? And so that's kind of where our main focus is going to be with this Belonging in the Outdoors event.
That's really, really cool. I never, because we all live in our own mind and our own experience, we're not usually empathetic to a situation until it's made available to us, or brought to our attention, right? Like I normally don't have just random thoughts about, I wonder how a person of color feels when they go out into the nature. It's just, I don't know. It's just not how I normally think. But now that this has kind of brought up that question, now I want to know, now I want to know what a person of that has a disability, what they see, what they feel, what restrictions they feel, what fears come up, or whatever they may be.
Exactly. And I think that's going to be at least for this event, it's a 3-part series,
right?
And it's going to be a film followed by a panel discussion, then followed by a group discussion. So after the panel, we're going to make small groups where people can actually just get a little bit more personal and again share that lived experience with the outdoors in this particular event.
So the film series, the film and workshop series, is taking place at the
Wenatchee Valley Museum.
At the museum from 6 to 8. There are 3 different dates with 3 different films. So so you can come to the entire series. If you miss one, can you come to another one?
You can come to the other one. We highly encourage you to be a part of all the conversations. To come to all 3 if you can. But
of course, you have to say that.
If you can't, we understand life happens, right? Again, so just we welcome you to come and just share your experience. Listen to others and let's just get together.
The first one is May 11th. So that's right around the corner for you. June 8th and June 29th at the Museum and Cultural Center. You have different films: Expedition Reclamation, Ascend, Elevated, This Land, Here We Stand. If you want to read more about those, what each of the films that are being screened are individually, because they all look at different aspects from different people's points of view, you can go to, what is the website?
ncwequityalliance.org.
Oh my gosh, so easy. ncwequityalliance.org. And some of the other series, these workshops and webinar series that you have, or workshop series and film series that you have like Making Equity Actionable, which I think is a really big part of it, right?
Yeah.
You learn stuff, you internalize it, but then what are you going to do with it? So what do you think people should be taking out of their experience?
Yeah, I think for Making Equity Actionable is, how do you make an action plan for your organization, right? And so a lot of the times, like you mentioned, we're getting talked at, but we never really apply what we learn. So this is going to be an opportunity for folks to really think about how can they make an equity plan within, and we understand it's not going to happen within 2 hours, right?
Right.
But again, it's just kind of teaching you those basics, those building blocks, right? And then this is a 2-part series. So the first part, we're going to be learning about how do you create that plan. The second part, we're going to kind of give you some homework to maybe in a small way apply something to your organization, and then come back in June to then talk about, okay, what did you learn? How was your experience trying to apply an equity plan, to your organization? So there's a lot to come, and that one's going to be exciting. They
all look exciting. I want to go to all of them. Belonging in the Outdoors, which is the one we just talked about. Signature Allyship, Making Equity Actionable. difficult community conversations. I do that all the time, and learning to people better together.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. These are absolutely imperative conversations that we need to be having in our community. So not only do I want to have you here to get the information out about this, but I think it would be really good to actually, dive into some of these issues, a little bit deeper, because I think we can use this as a forum to, make equity actionable.
Yeah.
So let's explore that, me and you, a little bit more, Oscar, post podcast here. I want to just remind people that the Belonging in the Outdoors film series, the first one, is coming up on May 11th. And that has a film series about different marginalized groups of people and their experience out in nature. And so from this, people who are going to attend this, and what is it that you want them to take away from it?
I think ultimately is, how do we create like a more inviting and welcoming outdoors? I think it's just being respectful and being mindful, really, of other folks, right? Again, sparking a conversation, having a dialogue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily getting talked at or getting taught. We want to learn from you, right? We want to hear, because ultimately the last workshop, we're going to talk about action steps, right? And so we're going to have some stakeholders or some decision makers. So then firsthand, they're going to sit there, right? What do you want to see in the outdoors? What is it, what are those needs that aren't really there? What are those gaps, and how do we fill them in? And so ultimately, we want you to share your experiences and make the outdoors a lot, more welcoming place for everyone. So
I support that 100%. Go to ncwequityalliance.org, get information on all the different programs that they have available. And Oscar, thank you so much for taking the time to come and have this conversation, and all the time that you put into all the conversations that you are having in our community right now. This is, I think, the most underrated nonprofit organization in this community right now. So everybody, please support their cause, because it is what's going to take us more civilly into our next generation.
And it's not an easy thing, right? We know we're going to fumble, but we have to be just ready to just stand up, and it's a learning experience, right? And so I think, we're all learning, and I think it's just, we're all in our own journeys. And so I think just being graceful with each other, right? Yeah, we're going to mess up, but how do we stand up and just keep going? And I think that's ultimately what we want to do. We want to invite people in, right? Call people in instead of calling people out, right? So a lot of the times, like, we don't want to shame anyone. We really want to, hey, we want you to learn with us. We're a community. We all live here. We all share the space. We're all very siloed. So how do we start, going back out and being a community like we used to be, where we can all play with each other, work with each other, and ultimately thrive as, we're NCW, so we represent North Central Washington as a whole. But, ultimately, how do we make the Valley really thrive? And so make sure that everyone feels welcome and like they belong here. So
because we do. Everybody belongs here. Just remember that. You belong here too. Oscar, let's see. Let's see if my brain will remember it. Licon-Eusebio.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. I know we're going to be seeing each other, talking again. Yeah. So good luck with all of your programs, and let's follow up, okay?
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Enjoy your weekend and this wonderful weather.
All right. Thanks so much,
my friend. Talk to you soon. All right, there he is, Oscar Licon-Eusebio. Yeah, he just gave me the heads up. He said, yes, that's how you do it. He was wonderful. Check out that film series at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, screening of Expedition Reclamation, followed by a panel discussion with the film's characters about what women of color experience in the outdoors. And then you have some other ones with people with disabilities experiencing their outdoors, and some brainstorming action steps. It's really a wonderful program that they have. I really like the difficult community conversations. The program is going to teach mediation skills for challenging community conversations, including communication, listening, conflict dynamics and resolution, peaceful problem solving, identifying issues, and restoring community dialogue around divisive issues in North Central Washington. Woo-wee. That sounds like a good one. My name is Nikki Darling. Just so you know, in case you are new to the program, we thank you for tuning in. I was reading this morning that Wenatchee is finally going to get a second airline flight to Seattle out of Pangbourne. It's like a good news, bad news deal. Good news, yes, we're going to get a second flight in. It's going to do like a late night fly-in, like post 8 p.m. and then stay overnight, and then an early morning pre 8 a.m. leave. But this is still not bringing us back up to the pre-COVID amount of flights coming in and out of Pangbourne. So we're only down to one flight a day. That was it. So now we're going to be back up to 2, but I feel like there's still a shortage. And as long as there's a shortage, it's going to be expensive to fly back and forth. It is. Let's call a spade here. So we can explore that topic if you want. If you have any comments on it, or you want to give me your opinion, you can always text in. Oh, let me take down Oscar's name. You can always text into the interactive text line 509-795-5602, or in the comment section, write in a comment and we will interact. Coming up, oh gosh, this is actually coming up next week. I got to take a look at so on Wednesday, May 3rd, not only is that the opening night for the Apple Blossom musical Shrek, and if you missed it, we did have an interview with Shrek himself out of his ogre clothes, also known as Vern Smith. He is the star of the Apple Blossom musical on last week's podcast. So you can go back, check out the archive and see that interview, because that was a fun one. So Grayson, I was just talking about, I totally went off track. A squirrel, total squirrel. But Wednesday, the 3rd, is the opening of the musical, but it is also the day that 1 Million Cups at the Wenatchee Valley Chamber is going on. And that's nice and early in the morning at 8 a.m.
And who's speaking?
And I will be presenting. I'll be one of the 2 presenting at 1 Million Cups this month.
Yay!
I found out the other company that is presenting is the Sweat Equity. Have you heard of them?
I've heard of them, but I don't know exactly what they do.
They do spin classes. Sweat Equity. Sweat, like literally.
Well,
they're sweating
I just didn't know
on your spin bike.
You still riding your bike?
Am I still riding my spin bike? No.
Oh.
Not at all. You want to know why?
Yeah, why?
Because I run after my 2-year-old, and that is my exercise.
He is pretty active.
And I carry around equipment, and that is my exercise. So riding nowhere on a bike is no longer appealing to me. Right? Get outside. Like Oscar said, get outside. Go do something outside. Like try outside. Let's try outside. Outside. Outside.
He likes to point and say it.
He has to, he points at everything. Outside. Dog. Meow. Oh, yeah, you should have seen. We went to Target the other day because I wanted to buy him a slide. And in Target, he just points at everything. And whatever he knows about that thing, that's what he says. Blue, hat, white, pretty. Whatever he thinks, he just assigns a word to it. And it was just through the entire store. And I'm like, yes.
He likes to give his commentary.
Yes. What are you trying to say?
Hey, he's a little bit of his mom, a little bit of his dad, So these are good things. Like his personality is very much sort of shining through.
Yeah. So anybody who doesn't know what 1 million cups is, it's based off of the premise that entrepreneurs discover solutions and engage with their communities over 1 million cups of coffee. So coffee is provided. It's at the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce downtown. And so they pick 2 small businesses a month to come and present about their business, and then invite other people to give feedback and engage and help with creative solutions, creative feedback. So that's going to be on Wednesday, 8 a.m. at the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce.
There's coffee. So
and there's coffee.
I mean, you can't, how do you say no to that?
Right. Caffeine.
Exactly.
If you watch my live on Instagram, I started a new hashtag closer to caffeine. And look, I just want everybody to know that I really am not that much of a caffeine fiend, because whenever that was this morning, it was like in the 9 a.m. hour. Okay. This is still what's left over from that drink.
Wow, mine is gone.
So I have not even finished what I had from picking up that coffee.
So you've slowed down a little on your caffeine then.
I just didn't have time to go get another one.
Okay, the truth is there.
I mean, I could have. My plan was to go down to Cafe Columbia and grab something, but then our friend Patrick from what is his company? Insurance, Global Life. I want to say Global. Man, he's gonna kill me. He's my insurance agent, so
it's okay.
Patrick, my really awesome insurance agent. There's Joel. Let's go talk to Joel.
Will do.
So Patrick stopped by, and then I got chit-chatting, and that was it. So still to come on the program today, we have lots of time, an hour and 15 minutes that for you to interact with us if you would like. Joel from the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo is going to be coming up with us next, but still to come next hour, Trina Elms from Classy Chassis. We'll talk all about the classic car parade on next Friday, and also the car show on Saturday, and we'll get all the details from her on that. And then we're going to try and connect with Alex Haley, who is heading up the Apple Blossom Beer Garden, and I've seen some pictures, and it seems like it could get a little raucous in there and have a raucous good time. So I'm really excited to give you guys the announcement that we're going to be doing karaoke for a cause at the Apple Blossom Beer Garden on Tuesday night. So we'll give you the details on that when we speak with Alex a little bit later, about an hour from now. We're going to try and connect with him. So, and anything else, like I say, anything else that you want to talk about. So if you want to talk about the flights coming in to Pangbourne, the roundabouts, I know everybody's got an opinion about the roundabouts. Okay, actually I have an opinion about the flipping roundabout down on like Easy Street area with all the road closures, and they putting the cones down. These cones that they have on the road are nonsensical. And maybe once you go through it once, it might be fine, but you're like, am I in a roundabout on the cones, or am I which lane? How do I get to where I'm? I just want to go to where I need to go to. And I know that other people feel that way. Maybe it'll be different once the roundabout is actually finished, but I feel like one day everything was fine, and the next day I was running over cones trying to get onto the highway. I'm that person. So I know there's a lot of people who want to gripe about the roundabouts. And if you are a person who follows the Wenatchee world, they put out the exclusive article Wednesday. I think it came out late Tuesday night. The very first candidate for mayor has given their exclusive to the Wenatchee world. His name is Mike Poyer. So we can talk about that. If you know Mike, he sits on the city council in District 2 right now. And we are going to have him on this show next week to talk about not just his platform, but just talk about him and what he is about as a person. Because I think that's going to help us understand how he'll be as a leader more than just what does he believe on his platform. Okay, so we'll talk with Mike Poyer, brand new mayoral candidate, before he even declares next week, right here on the program. Right now, I got to get on and talk with this guy. I've been very excited to sit down. He's almost chomping at the bit. It's Joel. Has had this mad scientist mind to come up with the Vinyl Record Expo, the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. And as soon as I saw this, I immediately had FOMO. The event didn't even happen yet. It didn't even happen yet. And I went, oh, why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I do this? And I know exactly why I would do it. I didn't do it, Joel, because my husband would kill me if I even suggested selling any of our records.
Yes.
But welcome to the program. Joel, you are leading up this cause of vinyl records here in the Valley.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. And you come with posters and swag, and I saw you had the stickers for the actual inside of the record. I don't know if that was a real promo item that you have.
Oh, well, I did just order stickers yesterday, so we will have that there too, along with we'll have posters for sale and T-shirts, and we will have kind of a featured record section we can talk about too, for kind of with Wenatchee ties to it also.
No, you won't, because I'm just going to buy it all from you before it even goes on for sale. I'll be like, how much you want? I want it all. No, but that's how people get, don't they?
Yeah.
Is vinyl has had a resurgence.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that I love vinyl before it was cool. How many times have you heard people say that though?
I have heard that quite a few times. I gotta say, yeah. And I've met a lot of people doing this now, just like sellers and people that are interested and collectors. And yeah, it's been not quite what I had thought it would be, but it's been super fun. It's been a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
What did you think it was going to be?
I thought this thing, just starting out, I would kind of, open up the hall. Like we just had this idea. We used to put on shows at the Oddfellows Hall, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And, we can't recreate that music scene that we put on because we've all moved away or have families. We're not all playing in bands. So, and I happened to be talking to my friend who's a collector, and he was talking about selling some of his records. And then a couple days later, I just thought, like, well, why don't I just rent out the Oddfellows Hall and do a little show. And then, so I was thinking like a
little show. Yeah,
a success might be 10 tables or so, because you never know what the demand for this might be. And so it kind of, it turned into a lot more work than I had anticipated, but that's a good problem to have, because I think we're going to cap it at 27 tables. So I think we're pretty much right there. I'm just waiting for a few people to get back to me, but we should have we'll have all 27 full.
That's great. I mean,
thank you.
Are you kind of kicking yourself in the butt for not having a vendor fee and not making any money off of this? The fact is, Joel, this is a passion project right now for Joel. He's not making any money off this, right? There's no vendor fee. There's no admission fee.
No, yeah.
What are you doing?
I would say I'm pretty good at keeping expenses low, but that said, I guess this first year is kind of a build, so you kind of take a hit financially a little bit.
It was a beta test.
Yes, yeah, and truthfully, I didn't think there would be that much demand for tables, so I wasn't, it was kind of just a trial run. So
now the people who are reserving tables, are they all going to be like my Grandma Eldridge out there that wants to get rid of her 7 copies of Barry Manilow that's been sitting in the back of her her garage for 70 years.
Yeah, I was wondering if that would happen. I haven't spoken with your grandma yet about the 7 copies of the Barry Manilow record, but you can kind of get an idea when you talk to people or, email, and sometimes I'll have them send me pictures. Because what you don't want is you don't want them to waste their time by carting 100 copies of a Firestone Christmas album, down there, or just, the stuff you see at junk stores, that doesn't get bought.
We don't want that either.
Yeah. I don't want to have people flip through it. They're going to waste their time bringing it down. So it's kind of, there's not heavy screening, but you can kind of tell. And, you just tell people it's not going to be worth your time to bring that type of stuff down. But yeah.
Well, I'm really glad to hear you say that, actually, because I was wondering about that. And are you planning on any kind of VIP access, advanced shopping
for next year? That's going to be one of the ways to kind of monetize it for sure. Is
next year.
Yeah. So for
okay.
But that said, I think I watched your Instagram live video where you might want to try to get in for free. You're more than welcome to come in before the doors open.
You heard him.
For you,
for me, for
not the public, but the doors open 11, and if people sell you stuff before then, I'd say go for it. Yeah. But yeah, next year, or if there's enough interest, we could do it twice a year. There will be a thing where you pay an additional, or I kind of want to keep it free to the public still.
Yeah.
But I'll do a VIP, an hour or two, probably early entrance for, $10, $15, something like that. Yeah.
I saw Ron Evans last week. He was at the tap room. He frequents there quite a bit. Yeah, it's his office. So we were talking about this, and I said my immediate thing, besides sending it to my husband, who I sent you a picture of. Yes. I should have put it up here, but before the show ends, I will get that picture up on screen. I just didn't upload it quick enough. But I sent you a picture of portion of our collection.
Yeah.
Which we can't even get it all up in the house right now. We don't have enough shelving. So we're working on building shelving. But besides sending it to him, the first thing I did was reach out to Mark Pickerel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I know Mark Pickerel, if people don't know who he is, he's was in the Screaming Trees who were from Ellensburg, but had some great success here. Mm-hmm. And globally, right? Yeah. And now Mark lives back in Ellensburg and is still making music, still making albums, but has a love for vinyl.
Yeah.
And has a love for things retro, and has a shop, a little shop up there. And I was like, we have to get you down here, come down here. And he's not going to be there. He's not coming.
It's a hard sell, I think, the first year, but I think he also had a drumming commitment that day too. He did. I think
I offered to be his proxy. I offered to be his ambassador here on site if he wanted to do something, because he knew he couldn't be here at least the entire day. He could only be a portion of the day. So that offer, Mark, still stands. If you want to bring some records here, I will be your ambassador on site for your shop. But only if you're in before it's full, because it's almost full, right?
He does have a table set aside just in case this does fall through.
There's always room for Mark Pickerel at the Vinyl Expo. What did you bring with you here?
So I have 2 records here. So part of the expo would be, do you want me to hand you one of these? So
I'm like, I already know what this is. We have this. We have it signed.
And
this is local band Datura.
So for part of the expo, we'll have every year I want to do featured records, right?
Yeah.
So this year it will be local kind of Wenatchee ties. And, hopefully we can do more of the local kind of ties too. But so at the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo table, we'll have copies of some of the records for sale. So the featured records this year is the Datura album that came out last year, Arcano Chemical, and the Apache Rifles record. And so Datura, obviously a local Wenatchee band. The Apache Rifles, my brother plays bass in it, and they were an LA band. So it's, got Wenatchee ties that way. They put out the album in 2014 and broke up right after the vinyl was pressed. So, but I would
so
not.
rock and roll.
Yeah, it is, and it ended in a very rock and roll way too. But they have a lot of copies of the album.
Was there a girl involved?
No, no.
Not rock and roll enough.
But they, it's such a great album that it really needs to get out there. So the Apache Rifle one, we're going to have for almost cost. It's going to be about $10. The Datura record, they actually sold out of all the vinyl, unfortunately. So you're looking at my copy, but they will have the CDs and cassettes there, and we'll probably have a QR code link to pre-order the repressing.
Oh,
So,
well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So we thank you for this.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
give those back to you. You're like, that's my coveted Datura record. Yeah. So my husband and my stepson, huge Datura fans.
They're
They
so
go to
good.
all their shows. Yeah,
Yeah.
they love it. And then there was one night my husband took the vinyl record to the show down to Wally's.
Yeah.
And held on to it the entire night. So that at the end of the show,
It gets sweaty when it has the case on
the
it.
plastic, yeah.
When you're holding it the
so
whole
they
time.
he could get it signed by
Yeah.
the band. I want to just see the picture
Oh, yeah.
of the band on the back. So here's another fun story. Where is she? This
Right
side, this girl right here. When my husband first met me, thought I was the drummer of Datura.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to do a side by
Have
side
you
one
met her
day.
before?
I have not
Oh,
met her.
She's so nice. I know Wes and Tiffany pretty well. I don't know David, but yeah, they're all very sweet people. Yeah, for sure.
So I love that you're doing that.
Yeah. Jake. I apologize, Jake, not Wes. But yeah.
Jake St. John.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can count me in for one of those. Let me see the other one. The
Oh, great.
Apache rifles.
Great.
Yeah. I was gonna say the archive rifles, but nope, not it. The Apache rifle. At least I can admit to my mistakes, Joel. The Apache rifles, count me down. I will definitely take one of those, if not two. I don't know how many copies you have, but we'll take at least one,
Cool.
if not two. So when is it?
It is Saturday, May 13th, and 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And so doors open at 11. I had never even thought that this would be a possibility before, but I'm really certain there'll probably be a line out the door, I would imagine, just because like the nature of vinyl collectors and like that first hit at the
You think
tables,
people will be
getting to the right
line,
table.
yeah.
Yeah, I do. So I would get there early, better selection that way. And yeah, we'll have a food vendor there. We'll have Dooley dogs there.
Yeah, April.
So she'll be taking over the entire kitchen. And, if I could, I just got to say thank you to like Ron Evans in the comment. Like he has kind of like, we had our first I had my kind of ask Ron a million questions meeting, over at the tap room about, it might've been February or
I'm
something
trying to
about
have
this.
one of those myself,
Yeah.
but we're having a hard time connecting.
But I mean, what a talent and a total resource for all this stuff. He's been super helpful. So he did some amazing graphic design, just any questions, from stickers, glossy or matte finish. I don't know, what do people like? And so
yeah, I should ask you. I mean, you just started this on a whim because you're a vinyl lover, a music collector of sorts. But I mean, what did you do before this? What do you do?
Oh, what do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm a registered nurse.
Oh,
Yeah.
So so this really is a passion project for you.
It is. I mean, I used to book music shows from probably the late 90s and then through college years, and then that tapered off around the mid 2000s. So I would do live sound for shows, book my own band's tours. So events, not too far removed, but this type of event, very new to me for sure. Yeah.
And where is it again?
It is at the IOOF Hall, 601 North Chelan in Wenatchee. It's, if you're going down, Chelan Avenue, you've probably driven down it a million times, as everyone has, but you never noticed the building there on the left.
On the left.
Right before you hit Fifth Street.
Yeah. No, I know where it is, but I'm be there early.
Yes. And we'll have It'll be both floors are open because we had to open the upper and lower floor. And by capping it at 27, I didn't want to pack it out too much. Like I didn't want it to be kind of a mess, you know? So I think it gives a lot of space for people to move around. And then it's not super overwhelming. And then we can get an idea of where we're at for next time. But we will have some listening. We'll have a listening station, you know, just like a record store would. So you go over there, put the record on that you might want to buy, you know, the Datura record or the Apache Rifles record or whatever you want to buy. And then, of course, we'll have, you know, records playing too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is there a chance for next year expanding it a little bit, maybe a bigger space?
Could. Yeah. Definitely.
Not beyond the realm of possibilities.
It would not be on the realm. Yeah. Be beyond the realm of that. Yeah.
I think I told you, but you might have remembered my husband actually still spins vinyl like he lives back in the 80s. He has oh man, he would kill me if I forgot. Technique 1200s. I'm thinking that's what they are, but I don't know. But he puts the vinyl on there and he can actually spin with it, and he goes back and forth and he does the whole things, and he put the headphones on, and I'm just like, and he's pulling stuff off the walls, and when he gets into it, he's like really into it. So maybe maybe that would be an idea for next year. Have a live vinyl mix set. That would be cool. Awesome. That would be so cool.
There is a guy that wanted to come down to show people about like turntablism. If we get a last minute cancellation or something, he might have like an instructional booth, but with headphones, so it's not kind of blaring over everything else.
That's one of the big questions. People are always like, what kind of turntable do I buy?
It is, yeah.
And what's good? What do I look for?
Yeah.
How do I change a needle? Yeah.
Audio Technica is usually pretty good. I don't have one personally in Audio Technica, but those are usually pretty good. Yeah.
That would be it. There's all these ideas that are, you got to get creatives that love music in the same room, and we'll come up with a million ideas and like execute like 2% of them. That's usually how it goes.
I know I didn't want to make it too overwhelming this year. There is one other component to the expo that I kind of did that is ended up being more work also than I thought. But so Dustin Hayes put on that Wenatchee Music History exhibit at the museum in maybe 2017.
Okay.
So it was concert posters dating back from like I think the 50s or something to current day. So
I think I remember that.
So he's kind of
vaguely.
This Wenatchee music archivist, you know, and so he gave me a thumb drive with all of these posters on it, and then some regular, you know, printed posters too. So I printed about 250 posters of Wenatchee in North Central Washington. Music, you know, concert shows essentially from the 50s to current day. Granted, more, you know, you get into the 90s and that's where you really start seeing a lot of this stuff. But there is stuff back from the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Really?
So we're gonna hang those all over the hall, like in the upper and lower floors too. So that will be a little bit of an undertaking. But all the posters are printed, and I have a work party scheduled to help like figure out where to put all these. So yeah.
Okay. Do you still need volunteers? We could put a call out for volunteers.
Yeah, if anybody wants to, to message me at Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo at gmail.com. If they would like to volunteer, that'd be much appreciated.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. There's lots of vinyl lovers out there.
Yeah.
Especially if they get to see how it all goes in action. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything, Joel?
I don't
You've
think so.
got a lot of info here.
Yeah, other than, you know, thanks to also Idea Board Shop too, because they're a sponsor of the event. So we may have some free stuff from them to give away, you know, a t-shirt or CD or something like that. But I think that's it. Just thanks to the helpers. Thanks to Cynthia Peterson she's been a great help for this too. Just, you know, all around kind of go-to person. You need someone to run ideas by that's not in your own head, so you don't. So you know if the idea is really bad.
That's why I keep him around.
You have to have someone.
You do.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you just,
Vinyl, Apple Valley Vinyl Expo is May 13th. Before I let you go, I just want to ask you, what is it about vinyl for you? What is it about vinyl records? What is it about the medium? What is it about, what can you think, I mean, specifically for you, and also what do you attribute the resurgence to?
I think for me, it's just I got into it, you know, sometime in the mid 90s, and you'd see a band locally and they they would have, they'd have records for sale. And so I remember buying that first record, full length, or the first 7-inch, and then putting it on and just, I like my music with a little crackles, and, it sounds not as, maybe not as, clean or whatnot, but also, vinyl, people will tell you it sounds warmer. And I do agree if you got the right equipment, but I think it's just the intention. You're being more intentional when you're listening to it, and you're kind of paying more attention. It's not in the background. That said, it is an expensive hobby to get into. It's cumbersome. So from a realistic standpoint, it makes zero sense, but it makes sense to people, that are into it. And I think people stream music digitally now, and maybe this is like they get vinyl appeals to them because they get this, usually a great piece of artwork, and
you get a physical experience. Yeah.
You can open it. Both of these I think are gatefold albums, so you have expanded artwork. If you're into colored vinyl, there's that aspect too. But it just, I'm not sure why it's gravitating, but maybe it's that everything's digital. This is kind of like the old analog, and it's something that, you cancel Spotify, you got nothing.
When was the last time I'll ask whoever's watching, whoever's here, when was the last time you listened to an album, wherever, front all the way to back, front to finish, start to finish, on Spotify or somewhere else?
Yeah.
Right? You rarely ever do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And go with the movement, the cadence, the emotional roller coaster that the artist meant for you to go on by intentionally putting those songs in that order, written in that way, with that art, with everything that goes along with it.
Yeah. And an A side and a B side, like they're very distinct. You know? It's like it breaks it up when you flip it. In digital, you're kind of front loading the album, I think, with your best tracks, essentially, because you want to get those ones out,
You definitely will lay out an album differently for vinyl if you're pressing it for vinyl. I've seen vinyls where the track listing was almost completely different than what they put out on the actual album,
for sure.
And then a lot of times they'll have bonus tracks. Mm-hmm. They'll do exclusives, things that you demo tracks, or they'll be like things in between the tracks. Yeah. Have you ever heard that? And I'll be like, I've never heard that before. Where did that come from? Right?
There's a great band from the Midwest, some friends of mine. I think it's NATO Coles and the Blue Diamond Band. And right before it gets to the end of the A side, it instructs you that this is the time you need to prepare to flip the record over, and it's like included in the record.
That was Tom Petty did that.
Okay.
Tom Petty did that. And he was like, hello, album listeners. This is the point where people listening on vinyl need to get up and walk over to the vinyl, or the turntable, and flip over the record. Yeah. I bet they totally ripped that off from Tom Petty. Yeah, they probably did. Yeah. Tom Petty's the master. Yeah. Well, I could literally sit here and talk to you all day about this stuff, and I wish I could. I wish I could, but we can't. But we will talk again, I'm sure. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing this. Because you're welcome. You didn't have to. You could have just done your day job and gone home and not spent your money on posters and stickers and t-shirts and whatever else you're doing. But this is going to be a great thing. I hope so. I do hope people really enjoy it. I think they will. We're putting a lot of work into it for kind of the whole experience. So that's my hope. The money thing is not an issue. It doesn't matter. People have fun. That's the main thing. Yeah. And anything you need from me, you come to me, and I want to be much more involved next year. Perfect. All right. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you for having me on. Yeah. We'll see you next time. Yeah. And just to remind everybody, the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo is going to be Saturday, May 13th. You got vinyl records, but not just vinyl records. There's going to be some tapes, some other collectibles. And if you want to help out and be a volunteer, they need some help too, but they have very few spots left if you're thinking to be a vendor. until all the vendor spots are full. Going to be free for admission, 11 a.m. on the 13th. And you can get all of the information online. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. We are moving along today. I wanted to show some pictures of Wine, Women, and Shoes. So last Friday was the Wine, Women, and Shoes fundraiser for the wellness place, and they raised some money. So I'm really glad. So if you don't remember Wellness Place, they have resources, nutritional shakes, wigs, some community groups for cancer patients. And they had their Wine, Women, and Shoes. Their big fundraiser was last Friday. I got to go. It was a really fun time. They have a vendor area, and the vendors share a part of their commission from the night with the organization. They do a wall of wine. Here, I got some pictures I'm going to show you. They do a wall of wine, and they do some other raffles. So this is actually the wall of wine. It literally is a wall of wine. Are you going to cooperate? Cooperate. Show. There we go. There's the wall of wine. They had a key to the closet, which before the event even started, raised over $10,000 for the organization. That's what the main room looked like. And I promised that I was going to show you guys my outfit. That's the best picture of my full outfit that I can give you. Because I told the story last week about getting the bleached flannel from Stupid Stitch. And Ryan told me that he didn't like it.
Whatever, you look good.
Thank you. So there's the partially bleached flannel from Stupid Stitch. And I saw so many people throughout the night. We saw Jesse Clay from the American Credit Union, Jay Woody Lotz from the American Performing Arts Center. There he is. Oh, he's such a good friend. There's my good friend, Dave Solomon from Solomon Financial Group. There he is. If you remember from the show last week, Jim Harville from the Jim Dandy Haberdashery. Where's my Jesse Clay picture? There's Jesse Clay from the American Credit Union. And my good friend Mary Hart from Licon-Eusebio. Mary was supposed to be on the show today, but she had a family thing that she had to take care of. So she's actually going to be on the show with us next week. Because she is organizing a pretty cool event called Artisan Synergy. Artisan Synergy. And I just got it wrong. It's actually a pretty cool name. Artisan Synergy. If you think about it, artisans that are synergizing together for one event. So it's kind of a little pop-up artisan market happening May 20th. Back in the parking lot over by where Licon-Eusebio Boutique is. So we'll get her on the program next week, along with mayoral candidate Mike Poyer will be with us next week as well. Oh, I have to get this link out to Alex so he can join us here in just a bit. So I'm going to try and multitask as much as possible. So Grayson, I was telling the story before as you were saying goodbye. About how we talked about a couple of things, the roundabout and all the dumb cones down on Easy Street. But I also was talking about how Pangborn is getting a second flight in and out of Seattle, second daily flight.
Which is important. That is like super awesome.
Well, yeah, but the thing that I was saying is good and bad news. It's good because we definitely need it, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, it's not even back up to like pre-COVID. Like people are like, oh yeah, we got a second flight, but they don't realize that like pre-COVID we had like 3 or 4 flights a day.
Yeah.
So we're definitely not back to where we were, but
it's
we're
good that
better.
We're getting back there.
We're yeah.
Because there's actually quite a lot of people that take that flight, that little puddle jumping flight from here to SeaTac, and vice versa.
Well, yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, I stopped taking it because they only had one flight a day.
Just one
that filled up like that.
Yeah.
And it was super expensive
not
because it filled up like that.
Yeah, it's not a big plane either. So
Yeah.
that's the other part of that. So then what ended up happening is Enterprise during COVID got rid of a lot of its vehicles, its fleet. So then you had a lot of people that couldn't rent a vehicle from Enterprise from here to get to Seattle. And Wenatchee Valley Shuttle, which is amazing. I love them. I've taken them from here all the way to SeaTac.
I love them.
They had their COVID thing, so they didn't have as many buses going back and forth.
Right.
So
Because they couldn't have people in small spaces.
So you just had a lot of people with nowhere to go. So you just saw a lot more remote working for people that had to. But for those of us like you that needed to get over for doctor's appointments, it just made it a lot harder. I will say, because I know I was trying to do all those things to get over to Seattle myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you have like health issues and you have to get over there. But I mean, it's more for I don't know what's going on up at Pangbourne in the port, because they were a couple of years ago, it felt like we're just talking about getting a flight to San Francisco. And
that fell through. Yeah, we never heard nothing about it after that. I was really excited to have a flight to go to San Francisco.
It'd be nice to have a flight that went somewhere other than Seattle. Or like, why not go to Reno or Las Vegas or LA? Or I don't want to go to LA. Nobody wants to go to LA.
I feel that it's gonna get, because the valley is growing. I feel it will start getting a little bit bigger. If you think about it. You hear a lot of things that Alaska's making changes at Pangbourne. They updated the aircraft that they have been using.
Yeah.
That's a really, really big deal to have a newer aircraft. So I think that they're trying. I don't think that they've really opened that up to the general public yet. But I think that I want to believe that in the horizon, I like to use a flight term there.
Ha 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 ha.
That they're gonna expand a little bit more and they're gonna get back on track. So let's, fingers crossed. San Francisco, Vegas would be really cool, but at least San Francisco.
Yeah, how many people go back and forth to Vegas and they have to go to Seattle before they go to Vegas? So it'd be nice to have a direct to Vegas.
Yeah, it's kind of a long drive.
Even for you who loves driving.
Oh yeah, I went with my sister. My sister loves to drive too, and she drove. We went 14 hours. Like, we literally just stopped for gas. We drove there and drove back, and that was during COVID, by the way. Why we went? Oh, because it was Alanis Morissette and Garbage were playing at the T-Mobile Arena.
I'm so jealous.
It was fun, and Vegas
I would
was
drive
pretty empty.
14 hours for that show.
Oh, it was an amazing show.
I've never seen her, and I was Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill and Green Day's Dookie were the first 2 CDs. I bought them on CD. Did I buy it? No, I bought them on cassette tape. Nope, CD. They were CDs. Bought with my own money.
I hear you.
I went to the mall, which is a much bigger deal in New Jersey than it is here.
Did they have a Sam Goody?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a Camelot Music?
No.
So we had Camelot Music and Sam Goody. We did have, it was a really, really big deal. I worked at
I don't know what Camelot Music is.
It's the same thing as Sam Goody, just a different name, bro.
We had Sam Goody. We had FYE.
Oh, we had FYE.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that was really it.
That was, I think, where I spent a lot of time. So I got a second job there. And I didn't have to do the, 20 pennies or 20 CDs for a penny. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because I worked at the record store.
The mail-in.
Yeah.
That was such a scam.
I got so many just regular imports that are super expensive, or records you couldn't find.
There's some guy named Buford out there who is still a part of the BMI 15 CDs for a penny deal.
Did you get sucked into that?
I'm sure I did back in the day. Everybody did.
Oh, I did.
I'm just saying that guy's still out there receiving CDs from the damn subscription base.
Oh man.
And he's like, why am I getting Pantera in the mail? I don't know what he's getting in the mail. But
Hey, Pantera's pretty good. That's a good selection. They did send out random stuff sometimes.
they did always sent out random stuff. Like, why? Why do you think I want Yanni? Really?
Yeah, I think I got like that. What's his name? How am I supposed to live without you? What's that guy's name? He had long hair. My
Edwin
mom was
McCain. No.
My mom was really, really into
without you. It was a girl. That was a girl.
No, it was it was a guy, and he had long hair. And Michael Bolton.
Michael. Oh yes.
I got a Michael Bolton cassette.
Yeah,
and I gave it to my mom. My mom was really into Michael Bolton, so I just gave
my mom was really into. Every mom was into Michael Bolton.
But they sent that to me, and I'm like, why do I want this?
Wait a minute, Grayson. I just had a thought. I'm a mom now.
You are? Are you into Michael Bolton?
Do I have to, is this part of being in the mom's club? If I want to fit in, I now have to buy a Michael Bolton CD.
No, I think what it'll be is Trenton making fun of you and like your favorite artist right now. God, my mom always had to listen to blah, 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 blah. Every morning I had to listen to blah, blah, blah. It was terrible.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true.
Because my mom listened to Michael Bolton and Olivia Newton-John, so.
Oh my gosh. I'm seeing Alex Haley.
Yes.
But he's kind of, I'm keeping an eye on him because he's cutting in and out. It looked like he did have a good connection there for a second. This is not boding well for the karaoke on site at the beer garden. Oh, wait, there he is. Okay. Alex, can you hear us? There he is.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, I'm so jealous of you right now. You are outside in the sunshine.
That's right. I'm at the,
tell us what's going
Blossom
on down
Fruits
there.
Beer garden. We have, it's not very full right now, but it's also still working hours. So this is the 10th year of the Blossoms and Brews Beer Garden. We've added some stuff over the years. We were just looking at a photo of the first year, which we did 2 days only the first year. And now we have a keg throne. I'll take you to the keg throne. Here, I'll just show you real quick.
Whoa. A keg throne,
right?
Throne.
A keg throne. Yeah. So we have
dilly.
VHS tapes that we can do. Yes, we have our flags up. We have some VHS tapes that people can play. We got Woody Lots over here. We got our
Woody
beer
Lots.
menus. So we got, these are brand new. We got new menus.
Oh, wow.
We used to have everything handwritten, and that was a pain. So getting the menus is a big deal. This is my friend Philip. He's our mascot here at the beer garden. So tonight, this entire thing will be full, and there will not be probably barely room to walk, which is fun if you like that kind of thing. But yeah, we got more banners. This is our Fast Pass line, so people who have a Fast Pass can cut the line here. Got some more fun flags. And I'm working on our beer garden.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So
there.
I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but they do have the Fast Pass.
I can.
So you have a Fast Pass. That's I know. Okay, good.
So that's a new thing
you do have to be 21 and older, right? Yeah. 21 and older, and the Fast Pass is you pay like one price, and you can get in any day. You get 2 beer tokens and the Fast Pass, so you can skip the line.
Yep. So you don't have to wait in line to get in, and you don't have as long to get a beer if it's super busy. So that's relatively new. We tried at the VIP Pass a couple years where you didn't have to pay your cover and you got a t-shirt, and then we decided to do the Fast Pass because it does get busy down here on Friday, Saturday nights. Yeah, so I'm just walking around.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And
so we'll have
when are you guys open?
The weather's nice. Just give me the best here. So on Friday and Saturday and Sunday we open at noon, and then weekdays we open at 4 o'clock. And everything, we have beer, wine, cider, and hard seltzer. Everything is $8. We also have non-alcoholic beers from Athletic Brewing. We have some sodas and waters and stuff like that. But we got really good beers and really good wines. We rotate through our IPA, so we have new IPA every couple hours as we go through them. And we have a rotating cider, so we have lots of local cideries now. So, which is cool. So we have a lot of local products and a lot of fun different beers and drinks for people who like to abide.
And the beer garden is a fundraiser for Apple Blossom as a whole, is it not?
Yeah, so it's all run by volunteers. It all goes back to the Apple Blossom Festival. But we have the brew crew down here. This is there's a few of us that have been here all 10 years. We have this very tight circle of people that we call the brew crew. Those are our bartenders, and they come back each year, and we'll have probably like 10 people pouring beers tonight, and it'll be just as fast as we can go. So it's really grown into a monster. And all that money goes back to the Apple Blossom Festival. Everybody at the front of the house is volunteer as well. So we'll probably have about 15 people volunteering tonight throughout the evening to keep this thing going.
Cool, man. We are looking forward to coming down there. What time you want me down there on Tuesday for karaoke?
Let's see. So I gotta check what time the music ends. Maybe 7:30, 7 o'clock. So we have live entertainment on the stage, and then as soon as that's over, then we can do karaoke.
All right. We'll get all the details out there. Thanks for. It sounds great. Sounds awesome.
Good. Awesome. See you down here.
Oh. All right, it's getting loud there, man. I'm gonna let you go, and we'll catch up with you pretty soon. Okay.
Sounds good.
There you go, Alex Haley. He is the manager down there at the Blossom and Brews Beer Garden. I love getting these on-site commentators. They are really fun. We're going to keep on trying to do that. So I had no idea what time he said for karaoke on Tuesday. It kind of cut out exactly at the moment, Grayson, that he was saying that I needed to be there and we were going to do it after whatever time the entertainment ends. I heard 7 or 7:30. And I said, yeah, great, whatever time. So after the show here, I'm going to go over there and talk to him and get all the details solidified. But just know that Tuesday, we're going to do a karaoke for a cause down at the Blossom and Brews Beer Garden.
I'm excited. I just put it in the calendar. I don't know why it wasn't in the calendar.
I don't know why it wasn't in your calendar either.
Yeah, I always do karaoke. Yeah, you know where I'll be on Tuesday.
I will be there as well. I'm really looking for. I've got a few songs I've been practicing for my karaoke.
Nice.
Just for the sunny weather. Yeah.
I know it's already shorts weather and just mind blown.
Right. I do not see Trina Elms, who was supposed to come down to talk to us about the classy chassis.
Yes, I have not seen her.
So she's very reliable person. So that's why I am concerned for my friend Trina. See, this is what happens. I'm doing this live.
No, Trina's good people. It was good meeting her the other day. I'm super excited about what you guys are gonna do for Classy Chassis this year.
So I'll tell you the story. I must have just put some kind of mojo vibes into the universe because I was driving around now that I live in East Wenatchee and I saw the Classy Chassis banners being hung up and I just went, wow, that's such a cool event. All these classic cars, the parade. I went, how do I get involved with Classy Chassis? And it went through my mind quite a few times. And then I went, it's such a legacy event. They probably have everything all buckled up and buttoned up and it's kind of late now. I'll just try and figure it out next year. right? Because I have a lot on my plate. So I'm like, I'll just, I'll put it in my brain for next year.
You've got your hand in like a little of everything with events going on.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is no joke.
I went to the bank. Yes, I know. We sat down a couple weeks ago and you said, well, what do we got going on for Apple Blossom? I was like, oh, nothing. Oh, I don't know. And then here I am like, oh, by the way, we're going to do Classy Chassis, and then we're going to be doing the Apple Blossom Karaoke Beer Garden, and then we're doing that. It's like I hear, and then all of a sudden it was like,
there's so much.
How about nothing? We're not doing anything for Apple Blossom. Nah. So I don't know what I'm thinking. But anyway, for Classy Chassis, I really wrote it off that we were going to maybe try and get involved for next year in one way or another.
That's exactly what you said, legitimately.
Yeah. And just for you to make notes, we make notes and we kind of put it on the agenda. And next thing you know, I get a phone call on a Saturday, no less, from Trina. But Trina's my friend, so I answer it. And hey girl, hey. No, this isn't one of those calls. Oh, hey girl, hey.
She's pretty soft-spoken.
Yeah.
But energetically so.
Yeah. She needed sound and a DJ and an MC and someone to run the contest and give out the prizes and do all of the entertainment, sound and entertainment for Classy Chassis.
Exactly.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I was just like, yes. I like the fact that she could have went to anybody.
Right.
How many different people could do this, could be that, and have that? And she came to me, and I don't think people understand how humbled and grateful I feel when they actually when they think of me and they go, she is going to be the person that is going to do this professional. I know she's a professional. I know she knows what she's doing, and she's going to bring something awesome and fun and energetic to my event. It brings tears to my eyes, because I love it so much. I love what I do so much.
I love what she had to say after all was said and done. Like, wow, you guys, I was just thinking about, a couple speakers right over yonder, and a little bit of music, and because that's what I do. And it turned into this production that she was just overjoyed and overwhelmed and super excited for.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, we could just do some little PA speakers, and then I'm like, yeah, we could do that, or I can call some friends. We could call the big boys in, and she's like, okay, well, we'll do a site survey. We go out to the site, and literally, it was Trina, and then 6 of us. Wait, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. 5 of us and Trina, and she's like, what? Where did all these people come from? I was like, yeah, these are all sound engineers, sound techs. They've got all the equipment. And they start talking. And they're like, we're gonna have all these big speakers in all different corners, and we're gonna run the things along the poles, and even I'm like,
I was super excited because the way that they wanted to do is they wanted to make it better than it's ever been, where people can actually hear the music playing and don't have to stand right in front of those PA speakers, and they can enjoy themselves because you get a wide variety of people that come out for Classy. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And so I'm excited to actually be going to an event where I'm actually going to have a lot more fun than I've normally ever had. Just, ooh, look at the cars and blah, blah, blah. And now it's going to be something that's going to be a lot better. So I'm excited. So listening to what they were talking about, the setup, I'm like,
Right. And even from the last time you met, we've had another site survey since then. We've added more speakers.
I believe that.
We have.
Because they were talking about
We are now up to 2, 4, 5, 6. We're up to 7 speakers. So yeah, the sound is going to have good coverage for all the music. So I get control of the music and and I'll have a mic that I can actually go out and talk to people and do commentary from out in the car show. So It's going to be a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, we will do give away best car show, best car in show. There you go. Best car in show. But there's more to it than that. Even, at least we're going to take Trina's time and talk about it. We got the parade on Friday, and Trina has asked me to. Okay, so we're going to have to talk because Trina has given the opportunity to be out there doing some live commentary here, live streaming while the parade setup is going on and maybe playing some music and pre-parade. Parade starts at 6 p.m. So this would be post this show next week.
It's going to be a long day.
Up until 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day.
Right? So we will have to talk that. And it's going to be Cinco de Mayo. So, and so the parade starts at 6 from the fourplex in East Wenatchee, the 4 baseball fields. And then they go down. I don't know. See, this is why I need her here. This is why I need her here. But I think they go to somewhere and they do dancing. She forgot. Look, I love Trina so much. So she's on her way. So we're gonna. She doesn't. Anyway,
she's close by.
She is very close.
We'll get her
in. So she'll tell us actually where it ends because they're gonna have dancing in the street. She was telling me. I think it's down at the end of 5th, maybe down in that area. They go across and they go there, and then they're gonna be closing off that area from 8 to 10. They have a beer garden, food vendors, and free family-friendly concert at Gateway Park.
There you go.
There you go. Nikki, just read the gosh darn notes.
Sometimes they help.
I know. It says the eatery is open from 12 to 6. Car show from 12 to 4 on Saturday. So now you go to Saturday. We got the big car show. All the cars are not on the street, but in the actual fourplex. You get to walk around, check them out, talk to the owners. I will be there playing music and then emceeing the whole deal. Safe Light will be in the Classy Chassis parade and then at the car show giving out glass cleaner. I love Chris so much. He's so amazing. So did you know that Classy Chassis started the first weekend of May in what year, if you had to guess? What? Way back. I can't read your lips. I don't know what you're saying.
So you gotta go back.
Got to go back?
Gotta go back.
To what?
I'll let you take a guess. You've never been.
I have the answer. I'm asking you.
You have the answer?
Yeah. Do you know the first year of Classy Chassis?
I don't know the first year of Classy Chassis, but I know that it's been going on for a majority of my life. Okay. This will help. Okay. Is anybody, I'll say this out there. Anybody out there? No. No one knows how old I am. So
what year? No. What year Classy Chassis started? And the hint is it started after you were born, but before I was born.
Yep. That's why I said you got to go back. I have a lot of family.
So in between when you and I were born.
I have family that loves Classy Chassis. I don't think that they've missed it at all. And so I've got to hear about it. I've got to go to it.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal. It's like a really big deal. And I love cars. So like, it's like the time when I get to see like all these guys that have collected some of these really amazing cars and wiping it down. And it looks all pretty. And you go up its parts. You get to go look at it and dream one day. But I grew up with a family that collects cars. That has a lot of classic vintage cars, from muscle cars to, just regular road cars. And then all the way back to my great-grandpa had a Model T, 1915. And my uncle inherited after my grandpa died. My grandpa inherited it from his dad. I've ridden in it in a parade.
That's so
literally
cool.
In the mayor race when my uncle was running, I got to ride in that. And that was the first time I got to ride in it, but I've seen it my whole life. Lincoln Continental with the suicide doors.
Don't talk to me about a Lincoln Continental with suicide doors.
It's so beautiful.
It is taking up my entire garage.
I love it. I love it. But I just come from a family that loves to work on cars and takes care of cars and does that. I got a 57 Chevy Bel Air, and my stepdad has a 72 Dodge Challenger and used to ride around. I've ridden in all of these vehicles. So even with my dad, I've got two dads. So
I,
that's
on the
a
other
confusing,
hand,
but
I love the aesthetic.
why the aesthetic? I gotta ask.
Because I gravitate towards that rockabilly retro look. I really enjoy that. I would rock it every day if it wasn't so high maintenance.
I could see you on a vintage motorcycle or having a vintage motorcycle.
Oh, we have one of those too.
What do you got? I'm sure it's
a
not like
KZX something. I don't know. But yeah, we have one of those too.
I'm sure I could pick Ryan's ear about these things.
I had a simple life before, Grayson. Now we have 17 cars, like we're hillbillies.
No, that's a life.
It's a pretty standard thing around here, actually.
Yeah, and I grew up with all of that, so it's not new to me. Like on either side of my family, it's just like people have cars and collectors' cars.
Yeah,
and it's just like a thing. It doesn't. So when Ryan was like, "I've got all these old cars," and I'm like, "Dude, but you have these like really cool older Toyotas." I like Subarus. Some people like Toyotas, but like when you grow up and you have something you really love, it's pretty cool. And we run. It's not like they're like junk. I'm sure that the Lincoln Continental is in the garage because it's probably not all.
Oh, it needs a lot of restoration. It's in terrible shape, but one day I know, if I know anything about Ryan, I know that he will restore that car.
With Trina.
Probably. Okay. All right. Stop.
Those are project things.
Full stop. Now you've gotten my son involved.
My dad, I'm a sucker.
Grandpa.
I mean, it's just how it works. It's just how it works. You get to talk shop and have a bonding moment where you do something together and you inherit it and all the hard work that was put into it with your dad. And it's like a really big deal. I've done that with my own dad. It's a really big deal. It's like a very proud moment when you get that opportunity.
Okay.
He's going to enjoy it. I mean, it's something that
it's not like I was making him. I can't make him do anything, right? Like, but it's not even like I encourage him to get rid of it. I've never, ever, because I know how important and passionate he is about that. And he has been holding on to it for a really long time. And he had to move it. And if he didn't get rid of it when we had to tow that SOB from his old house to this new house and get it into the garage, then it's staying where it is. It's not going anywhere.
It's a very rare vehicle. So, yeah, to keep it would be really important.
A couple of weekends ago, we were talking to our neighbor because we share a fence. Whole nother story.
It's okay. I've got those neighbors too.
Talking to our neighbor. And apparently he's friends with the guy who owns Bob File Boats and Motors. So he was hanging out over there. We were chit-chatting over the fence. There she is. And the guy was
I'm gonna stand up. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
I'll tell them the story. So the guy was saying that he had another classic car for sale, and I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been another Lincoln Continental that he had that he was trying to get rid of because his family had all these classic cars and they were trying to minimize and downsize their collection. And I just see Ryan and his eyes just start to twinkle, and I'm like, we do not need another car, especially another Lincoln. Like, there's just we have nowhere to put it. Trina,
Nikki.
we've already talked about you.
I'm so sorry.
And everybody knows that you forgot, and everybody knows that you're late. So
yes, guilty. I forgot to put it in my
it's
calendar.
so fine. But you look lovely, actually. You really look so nice in whatever these colors are, and the wind coming in and blowing through your hair. Yeah. I don't know. I just needed to tell you that.
Thank you.
So are you having a busy day?
Yes, a little bit.
Oh my gosh, because
and-
we are going into like the last, I mean, Apple Blossom has officially started, right?
Yes.
Chief Brew Day was yesterday, but we're really headed headlong into Classy Chassis, which is next week.
It is. It's coming up quick. It's been crazy. My new events assistant, Natalie, came with me today.
Hi, Natalie.
Yes, it's week 2. She came back after week 1, so she's not scared of the
Good job.
events, which is awesome. So excited that she's here and helping.
She's on week 2,
She's
and
on
then
week
like
2.
week 3 is Classy Chassis.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Technically, she's on day 4.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I know. Day
Yeah.
5? Is it 5? Okay, it's going by quick. She's awesome.
Almost every job that I've had has been like baptism under fire.
Right.
Like, here, just go figure it out. So this is gonna be great.
Oh yeah, she's asking me today, okay, I did this, I did that. Like, what do we need to do next? And I'm like, hold on, let's take a minute. I need to pull things out of my head and we need to start writing them down now that I have an assistant. So we know
Whiteboards
what-
everywhere.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
my trick.
Yeah.
Whiteboards.
And then on top of everything today, we found a lost dog at City Hall.
Stop it.
Yes, it was the cutest black lab shepherd mix. And we brought him into our basement so we could kind of keep him contained because 9th Street's super busy.
Yeah.
And so we didn't want the poor thing to get hit. And he went for a car ride with Natalie driving around looking for the owners.
Did he have any like tags
No,
and stuff?
He didn't. He had a collar on. He knew how to sit. He was well behaved. He'd come when we'd call him. So sweet. Gave us kisses. So we had to take a time out to go find the owners, and we found them. So
Oh, good.
yes,
Oh, good. But
Yeah.
you know, just amongst everything else, you're
yeah,
saving dogs.
yep.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's and duties as assigned,
Yes.
Natalie.
It is.
When they put at the end of your job description, like
Yep.
do, plus duties as assigned. And, you know, like that could be anything. But
With our job, it is
yeah,
anything.
it could be saving dogs. So
Yes.
there you go. I'm really, we told the story about how I wanted to get involved with Classy Chassis, and I kind of just wrote it off. And I was like, maybe I'll try and get involved next year. And then the next day, like you called me to get involved,
Yeah.
and I was just overwhelmed by the thought that you wanted me involved in this huge event.
Of
So,
course.
one, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for wanting to do it.
Yeah, yeah. It's so cool because it's just an awesome event, right? And so many people come to it and have it of all ages.
Mhm.
That's the thing that I love about it. It's just like from the littles to the olds to
Yeah.
this walk of life to that walk of life. It's one of those things kind of like music, but
Mhm.
cars and like things that are retro. It's one of those things that people relate on.
Yes, for sure.
And everybody wants to come out and see these beautiful cars and kind of walk around. So you're gonna get a big crowd normally.
Yeah, so we normally have anywhere from 350 to 300 or 400 cars.
Nice.
So last year we had 377. Right now we're over 250, and we always get a good push at the end too.
Of course.
So we'll definitely break that 350 mark easy.
And do all the people in the car show enter into the parade?
Not everybody.
Okay.
There are definitely some people who don't like the waiting around of the parade, and the start and stop sometimes isn't good for some of those older cars. We've had cars stall in the middle of the parade before and have to be pushed into a parking lot. So, not everybody does it. And some people do the parade and not the car show.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
there's definitely, you won't see all 350 plus cars at either event, but we still have a lot of cars.
Yeah.
So
And so what is the route when they start up in East Wenatchee by the fourplex, right? They
Yep.
line up on that road.
they do.
And then where do they go?
So from there, the parade technically starts at the corner of North Georgia and Grant Road.
Okay.
So don't sit above North Georgia. You want to be below North
Yeah,
Georgia.
because you go down.
We go down. So we have people who try to sit right there on the corner on the opposite side of Grant Road, and you're
They're
gonna
like-
miss a lot. Yeah. Yeah. you're gonna
Because
miss a
Grant
lot.
Road is wide. You
Mhm.
forget how wide Grant Road. It's not like you're crossing Wenatchee Avenue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and we only block off really half of that intersection. The other half we leave open for the people that live on the other side of Grant Road on North Georgia there.
Okay.
And then, or I guess technically that's South Georgia, I believe, on the other side of Grant Road. I'm not really sure. But Bi-Mart's right there. And then all of the Pizza Hut employees, they need access to get into Pizza Hut. So they park in the Bi-Mart parking lot during Classy Chassis because their parking lot's shut down for the parade. So that's how they get in and out. And they do. People are still ordering pizzas, so they still need to work. So we cone off part of that.
Okay.
And then we have a police officer directing traffic into those areas. But yeah, so sit below North Georgia, and then we go all the way down Grant Road, and then we turn onto Valley Mall Parkway. And then
okay.
yeah, so all the way downtown on Valley Mall Parkway, all the way down to Sunset Highway, you can see all of the cars. Some of them do turn off onto 11th Street if they need to circle back up to the park, like the bands and some of those other bigger groups that come need to get kids back to parents, so they meet back up at the schools. So they'll turn off at 11, so that's technically where the parade ends. But all the rest of the cars will either go down to the PUD parking lot there or continue on to Sunset Highway and then scatter from there.
Oh, and there's this dancing in the street that you have. Where's that happening?
Yeah, so directly after the parade, it'll technically start at 8 o'clock. But we'll keep the road shut down in front of Clearwater and Gateway Park there on the corner of 9th and Valley Mall Parkway.
Right.
And we will have a small show and shine in the road. We have the Stony River Band coming in, sponsored by the Clearwater. They'll be playing down on the little pad we have at the bottom of Gateway Park. And then Clearwater's going to have a beer garden. There's going to be people all over the place. Last year was the first year, and it was packed.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. It's a family-friendly event. Blue Skies is going to be there selling food. Shaved Ice and More is going to be there selling shaved ice. So it's just a short little 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. fun event.
Yeah. Family-friendly in two, you said. Yeah.
Family-friendly. I might be late for some kids, but yeah, still really fun.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that, especially now that I live in East Wenatchee. I could just walk to it.
Oh, even better.
I'm that close. I'm not going to tell you where I live, but I'm close enough that we could walk down that way if we wanted, or I should say Ryan and Trina could, because we might be at the beginning of the parade. So yeah. We're going to talk to you about that. But then Saturday comes along, and that's the car show.
Yeah.
And that is all at the Fourplex. And the hours and details for the actual car show.
Yeah, so it's at the Fourplex, the Eastmont Community Parks are right there, corner of North Georgia and Grant Road again.
Yeah.
And so the car show itself is from noon to 4. Cars start lining up at 8 a.m. though. So unofficially 10 a.m. kind of a start time, but
whenever people start knocking down the fence.
Exactly. So the eatery, the new eatery, our food truck park that we're going to have right in front of the Fourplex on North Georgia there, it'll open at 10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
So we do have things happening starting at 10. But then,
and I'll start playing music as soon as I have it ready.
Yes.
So as soon as we get all these 7 speakers up and running, and we get the sound system set up, I'll start playing music as soon as I can.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sometime around 10.
So, sometime around 10, come get breakfast and do some early morning karaoke. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
But I sing wherever I go. It doesn't matter. But then the car show is pretty much all day. And then around 4 o'clock, we give out some awards.
Yep. That's our award show sponsored by Town Toyota. Got to do my little plug there.
Of course.
And so, we have somewhere around 30 awards. Each class has their own awards. We have pre 1930 domestic. We've got domestic. No, it's pre 1920 domestic, and then domestic 30s and 40s, domestic 50s and 60s. We've got truck categories for different age
I'm sure
years.
this is all very important
Rat
to the
rods,
guys with
tractors.
the cars, guys and ladies with the cars. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot of categories. Then we have Les Schwab is our main sponsor, so they have a Les Schwab Employees Choice Award. They'll hand that out. Town Toyota has their Employee Choice Award. This year we have People's Bank, and so they'll have their Employees Choice Award. And People's Bank is actually sponsored the Cars movie, Cruz Ramirez and Lightning McQueen. The actual cars will be here.
Stop.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean they're cars that were painted to look like them, but
still
they legit look like them. So they're gonna be
my kid will freak out.
Oh, I know, mine too. They're gonna go in the parade. And so People's Bank will have a big, I think they're entering a couple cars, and they'll have banners on the side of the cars and stuff too. But they'll be with People's Bank in the parade, and then they'll be at the car show on display for you guys to come take photos with and really enjoy.
You totally buried the lead there, Trina.
I know.
That's what we should have led with. No, that's awesome.
It's
like there's gonna be like so many pictures of that in there and with kids all over. Does it cost anything to get into the Class Chassis? Free to get in?
It is free for anybody to come in and check out all the cars. But if you have a car that you want to enter into the car show, that does cost a little money.
Okay.
So
I don't think that they are going to care about that. So parade and car show, it's just one of a few different events that you have throughout the year. You also have the Pangborn Festival flight, the tree lighting. You're adding some other events I may or may not talk about because I don't know if they're out there yet, but I know that you do certain things throughout the year. But this is like, it's beautiful weather, beautiful cars. People want to go out and they're ready. Yeah.
Well, and another event we're doing for Classy Chassis this year, the East Wenatchee Rotary is doing a car smash during the car show. So for $5, you get 1 minute with a sledgehammer. They have all the protective gear you need, and you get to have at it at a broken down old PT Cruiser.
I think I have an extra 100 laying around.
Right.
Because do you even have any idea? My last year, I really could get out some aggression.
Right.
I need like an hour.
Yeah.
I'll be completely exhausted. That sounds awesome.
It's going to be really fun. And it's a fundraiser for their scholarship fund, the Eastmont Scholarship
Is
Fund.
that the Sunrise Rotary or the Confluence Rotary?
Nope, it's the East Wenatchee Rotary.
The East Wenatchee Rotary.
Yes.
They're all going to hate me now because
they're also some of our biggest volunteers. So we donate back to their group also for helping out.
Well, thank you again for zooming down here. But really, most of all, thank you for having me as part of this event. And I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have a super lot of fun because I'm going to walk around with the mic and like start talking to all these people and about their cars. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. So
I'm excited. I'm excited to have you. You're going to bring such a huge energy that I think the car show really needs. So I'm excited.
Thanks, Trina. All right. You can zoom back out. Natalie, it was awesome to meet you, and good luck in everything that you do here with the city. And we'll get together again soon and have you on and talk about everything else that you guys got going on. But
Pangborn's Festival Flight is its own show too.
I know, because that's like in a blink of an eye. So it's like the beginning of July. So we'll get back and talk about the festival flights. But for right now, everybody go to Classy Chassis, get all the information. It's on the website, which I can't remember.
It is eastwenatcheewa.gov.
There you go. All right.
Thank you, Nikki.
I love you so much.
Love you too. Right. So happy to be here.
And look, we got everybody in before 2:00 because after the hour, I say no soul is saved after the hour. This was a really good jam-packed show. We fit a lot in. Did I miss anything, Grayson? Because you're the one that is keeping me in check here.
I want you to know this has been a super fun, awesome show.
Right?
We've got pretty much everything that needed to be talked about and discussed and the upcoming events just like out there. And like, I think probably one of the most fun shows that you've ever put out there.
Thank you.
For people to watch.
So you can always go back and watch the replay. But let's tell people we've got we're planning Cinco de Mayo for next Friday.
Yes.
And we're still working on it.
We're still working
right?
on it. I'll throw this out there. So I know we like to kind of keep things under wraps about where we go on location, but I've been diligently trying to get a hold of Angel, who's the owner of Young Bucks, and amazingly, the place that we would love to broadcast from. Drum roll, please. What's the name of it, Nikki?
Bomb burritos.
Bomb burritos. Oh, I think it's so I'm working really hard on trying to secure that. I know that I work a lot in the background trying to secure a lot of the locations that we go to, but I have been on top of this for a couple weeks now, and I'm plugging away slowly but surely, getting there, I think. So, I'm looking forward. It's going to be a really long day next Friday. But it's going to be fun.
This is the time of year, apple blossom, and it might be a long day, but it's like a long, fun day where we get to do what we love all day long. Like, oh, look, Joel, he's watching. Thank you both for having me on today to chat about the expo. It was so fun.
Super excited having Joel on for the Vinyl Expo.
Right, that's going to be great. And so we're still working on. I know Mary Hart will be with us to talk about Artisan Synergy. She's going to have to work on that name. Artisan Synergy, which is her artisan pop-up market on May 20th.
Right.
We are working on. We'll have the mayoral candidate. So Mike Hoyer just announced that he is running for mayor. He is the city council member from District 2, and he is now going to be running for Wenatchee's mayor.
Right.
And we will have him on the show.
Which
next
is exciting.
Friday, right?
And you're going to have a co-host.
Oh, I'm going to have a co-host. That's right.
This is really exciting because we haven't really done a co-host. It's usually been a small banter between you and me. But we have a very amazing, very talented, very funny small business owner, April Castle, going to be co-hosting with you, which I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be a pretty exciting show.
Okay.
All right, but are you not excited?
I'm very excited. April makes me nervous.
Why is that?
Probably because I just have to be more on my toes, and she is unpredictable.
That's true. That's true. I thought you were going to say because you didn't think you did very well in the.
I failed the friend interview.
I don't think you failed.
And I think I have failed her as our friend since then. In so many ways.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad that we're gonna have April on, and she's gonna be the where were we? Which place we were talking with today that she's going to be the food vendor at the Vinyl Expo. So she'll be doing all the food at the Vinyl Expo. So good for her.
Yeah. Dooley dogs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so hungry right now. All right.
Dog.
Can we go and get some lunch?
Sure.
I am so hungry.
So you asked me a question. I want to take a guess.
Okay.
Okay. Because I do know when your birthday is. Fortunately.
The question is, what was the first, I wonder if Trina even knows, what was the first year of Classy Chassis?
Okay, Trina, if I get this wrong, don't smack me. Okay. I'm going to go with, I know that it's majority of my life, but not all of my life.
Here, let me ask her the question that is up for grabs is what was the first year of Classy Chassis? She doesn't know.
So I really want to. Oh my gosh! If anyone in my family is watching this, please don't kill me. Please don't smack me. I want to say 81, but I think it might be 80. But I'm gonna go with 81.
You looked it up.
No.
You totally. He looked it up.
I did not.
You can. You can. You can't see. You don't even know. You can look it up. It is 81.
Is it 81?
It's still questionable.
Oh, it's questionable.
We don't actually have record of when it first started. So that is like best guess based on what.
Oh, okay.
I know it was
so
in the
that's
80s. That's the only thing I know. I
All
want to
right.
say 80, but I'm going with 81.
We'll go with yeah. Trina says there really is no record, right? Back then they weren't keeping as great a record of things, so they
I've
don't
just
really
heard
know because it was
so
just
many
a
stories.
non-organized car show back
Yeah.
then. Yeah, she doesn't know.
You had
So,
a lot of guys
81
that,
was the first like
had their
recognized.
souped up hot rods at those. And so those are the stories that I grew up with hearing
Yeah.
from people in my family. It's, oh man, I got my car all shine up, went down, did that. And I don't even think it had a name. And then they drove the Ave because it was Apple
Yeah.
Blossom.
Oh yeah, the cruising was such a
Yeah.
huge thing.
It was
Yeah.
so those are the stories that I've grown up with that I've heard. So that's why I'm.
Listen, we didn't have anything like this where I grew up. We didn't. We didn't have Apple
Oh my
Blossom.
gosh,
We
if
didn't
you
have
could
an Apple
only
Blossom
See
court.
some of the videos and photos from that era. It's just insane. It's crazy.
But I never grew up with anything like the court or the Apple Blossom Queen or anything like a program like that you could aspire to as a young girl. Like there was just nothing like that. So here I had to learn all about that and then how important it was or how important it still is for the community to keep having these programs for young ladies to aspire to be philanthropic and give back and connect with their community. Like that's really what it's about.
Apple Blossom is a huge event. I know it's only grown over time, but it's a really exciting thing to get to hear about and know that your family's participated in it in one shape or form or another. I've heard, like I said, a lot of them I can't talk about. They're not embarrassing. They're just probably not appropriate for the content here. But I love that since I've moved here, I actually get to like be a part of it instead of just coming into town and like seeing part of it.
Yeah.
And I live like downtown, so it's like central, so I can like walk from my house to a lot of the events.
Oh, it's true.
I can even walk over to Classy Chassis. I mean, I love that we've got
we got a walking bridge.
The trail.
It's not that hard.
It makes it so convenient. That
oh my
trail.
God, there is a dog in a stroller.
There is a dog in a stroller.
This is the wonderful thing about being down at Pybus Public Market. There you go. I love it down here. I want to thank Travis and Jess for hosting us down here at Pybus Public Market for today's show. That's where we've been broadcasting live from. And I want to thank everybody else for coming on with us today. So we will have Mike Poyer next week. We will be celebrating Cinco de Mayo and continuing to celebrate Apple Blossom because it's next weekend's the big weekend. And then later on in May, we will solidify a date for Mayor Frank Kuntz to be on the program to talk about the Confluence Parkway project.
That would be great. That would be wonderful. Yes.
All right. Anything else before we sign off?
Thank you for having me again. I love being on the show. No, I think that today's show and the content of the show is probably one of our best shows. I'm just going to rate it right up there as like a gold star. I know we get better all the time. I know that we strive to.
Trina really made the show.
She did. The fact that she showed up is amazing.
It's awesome.
Because usually we have to, make an excuse for someone not showing up. Because that has happened. It's happened.
It has happened.
So, I mean, she just rushed down here like firecrackers.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Here I am. I'm going to tell you all about Classy
This is for
Chassis.
Nikki. I got to get there.
Yeah. No, it's a great show.
Thank you for being here too, Grayson. I want to thank all my guests who joined the program today. We had Oscar from the NCW Equity Alliance, Trina Elms from Classy Chassis. Actually, Trina is not just from Classy Chassis. We should have given her a proper introduction. She's the public information officer for the city of East Wenatchee in the mayor's office, and she does events, and she's amazing, and she's a mom, and she crochets. Shall I go on? I don't know. I could. We also had Joel from Apple Valley Vinyl Expo and Alex Haley from the Blossom and Brews Beer Garden. Plus, a big thank you again to the Pybus Public Market.
Yes.
The Farmers Market opens on the 13th. So not only have we the indoor, but also the outdoor open air market. We'll be back next week for another episode of What's Up Wenatchee. Join the community at wuw.supercast.com for exclusive What's Up Wenatchee content and to catch up on past episodes, just find us on the What's Up Wenatchee YouTube page. All right. Happy Apple Blossom, everybody.